Exclusive, urgent, inside Hollis Hall. Something just shifted, and if you're a Bears lifer who cares about what actually wins in January, you need to hear this before it's everywhere. There's a window opening that nobody expected this early, and it touches the one position this city never treats lightly, wide receiver one. Phones are lighting up, cap sheets are moving, and a target date circled in red just got moved forward a few weeks. This isn't rumor mill noise. This is leverage being tested in real time. Here's what I'm picking up. The tone inside the building changed after the last whistle. Not panic focus. The kind of focus that pulls the whiteboard closer and forces real decisions instead of slogans. It's a football decision, not a headline hunt. And it started with tape, not Twitter. Coaches watching the same 3 plays on loop. Scouts double-checking notes from 2 drafts. A personnel staff tracing different paths that all end in the same 2 words. Contingency planning. Stay with me. Because if you care about the arc of this season, this matters. We're talking identity, the shape of this offense, and how you maximize the kid under center when the calendar turns ugly and every 3rd and 6 feels like a court case. One of our best got quiet. Another stepped into the spotlight and the league noticed. When the league notices, it calls. And there's one call in particular that has everyone sitting up. I'm going to lay out exactly what's on the table. What the timeline looks like, how the money would even work, why it would help or hurt the locker room, and what it means for the depth chart if the most obvious name in the room suddenly isn't in the room. I'll also hit the draft pick math that reporters gloss over and the on-field fit that could turn a Sunday into a statement game. But first, I want you in the loop the way insiders hear it clean, straight. No fluff. Welcome back to Bears News Fan Report. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and drop a like so this breakdown reaches every Chicago fan who refuses to get blindsided by late headlines. This community moves faster than the rumor cycle, and today you'll see why that matters. Let's set the field. Through 3 weeks, the passing tree has a new trunk. Rome Odunze isn't just running routes. He's demanding them. Separation early, stronger hands late, body language that says throw it again. That's what you want from a young wideout in this town. Earn the trust, then stretch it. It's not a knock on anyone else. It's a reality check for how the ball wants to move right now. On the other side, DJ Moore's production dipped below what this fan base knows he can deliver. Fewer touches, tighter windows, and a defense willing to lean help his way because the run action has been so respected. He's still a technician strong through contact, smart after the catch, but the numbers haven't matched the name on the jersey these first few weeks. That disconnect is what starts conversations, fair or not. Zoom out. New staff, new rhythm, same stakes. Build a January offense that travels. Ben Johnson is carving out a sequencing identity, stacking plays so a corner has to guess wrong by the 4th series. The quarterback is growing into it calm pre-snap, confident post-snap. When that happens, someone always becomes the safety blanket. Right now, that's Odunze. And when a new safety blanket appears, the old one becomes a chess piece, either on the board in a new role, or, you know where I'm going. Now add this. Across the conference, a contender in waiting just lost a young star receiver to a serious knee injury. It punched a hole straight through their plan and sent them shopping for a WR1 with real juice, playoff poise, and instant respect in a huddle. The kind of talent you don't find on a practice squad or with a 4th-round flyer. That injury changed the market by breakfast. And yes, when markets change, G-Miz calls Chicago. Here's the part you came for. The news. As it's being discussed in hushed tones, Chicago has attached a real, specific number to DJ Moore and is willing to pick up the phone, especially if that call comes from New York. Not a garage sale. Not a discount. A premium ask that reflects his talent, his leadership, and the message you send to your own locker room. We're talking picks, plural, with meaningful position on the board, plus flexibility that keeps this roster ready to win, now not in some 5-year theory. Why would the Bears even entertain it? 2 reasons. First, Odunz's ascent gives you optionality. If your young wideout can handle WR1 volume against real coverage, you can redistribute the cap and the targets without gutting your passing game. Second, the value spike is real. A receiver-needy team after an injury will overpay now compared to what they'd offer in March. If a front office wants to hold leverage, this is the moment. And Chicago finally is operating from strength, not desperation. Now, the numbers without getting lost in them. Moving a high-end receiver mid-season is never cheap on the cap, and the acquiring team has to swallow a big commitment. That alone sets the floor for offers. The ballpark being floated includes a premium pick and a swap mechanism that could slide Chicago up the board in the first 2 rounds. Don't get hung up on spreadsheets here. This is about creating a path to add another blue-chip talent on a rookie deal while keeping the offense explosive today. On the field, what does it mean? For Chicago, Odunze becomes the unquestioned alpha. The route tree expands, the motion packages get bolder, and the tight end becomes the chain mover in big spots. Your young backs absorb a few more targets in the flat to steal cheap yards. It's not a talent downgrade, it's a shape change. For New York, it's even simpler. They need a WR1 who wins isolation on 3rd down and brings grown man confidence to a huddle that just got shaken. Moore does that on day 1. Timeline matters. If the Bears keep stacking wins and Moore's usage bounces back, the urgency fades and the price climbs even higher. Simple economics. If the record wobbles or an underlying injury elsewhere forces a second team into the bidding, the window narrows, but the leverage strengthens. The quiet signal from the building is this: nobody is pushing a button today, but nobody is pretending the phone isn't ringing either. Let's talk locker room and leadership. DJ Moore isn't just yards. He's tone. He blocks like a tight end, keeps the sideline stable, and teaches young guys how to carry a heavy target share without drama. You don't trade that lightly. If you move him, it has to be for a return that echoes in this building for years, something that helps Caleb Williams now and also sets the table for the next 2 drafts. Otherwise, you keep your adult in the room and make the defense prove it can cover both him and Odunze in January cold. There's also the Ben Johnson factor. Scheme guys don't think in names. They think in roles. If the role is boundary winner who commands safety tilt, you can fill it with a handful of players. If the role is YAC bully who punishes off coverage, that's a different profile. Moore can do both, which is why he's rare. If you move him, you need a role split more motion to spring Odunze, more bunch to free the slot, more design touches to keep the ball moving forward on schedule. The staff can do it. The question is whether they should. For the Giants, it's a culture bet. You're telling a young quarterback that 4th quarter isn't a mystery anymore. Throw it to the grown-up and live with the result. That changes practice tempo. It changes how a coordinator scripts the first 15. It cleans up the 2-minute drill. It's expensive, but it's clean. And when you've got a locker room looking around for answers after a major injury, clean matters. So where does this land? If New York meets the number, this gets very real very fast. If not, the Bears hold and win on the field, with a motivated DJ Moore reminding everyone why the stats never tell the full story. Either path can work. It depends on what Ben Johnson values more in late December. Another premium pick for the pipeline or another premium route runner who scares the best corners in football. I want your take. Chicago. If the price is a first-rounder plus movement in round 2, do you take it and ride the Odunze wave? Or do you double down on proven chemistry and tell the conference you're not thinning out any strength mid-season? Drop your verdict in the comments, because this community thinks like a front office. And I know you'll see angles the national shows misdoubt my opinion. I keep DJ Moore unless the return is undeniable true elite value that adds a second blue-chip starter in the next 2 drafts. Until then, I ride the Odunze jump and let the room breathe. And yes, this is speculation, smart, informed, but still speculation. We'll track it together. game by game.